What up everybody, Bonzo here, and today I am making a video about the order of importance of getting your card masteries. Now, I want to preface this by saying that this is my own order of importance. Don't take this as the be all end all, like absolute guide to the importance of getting your card masteries. In fact, there's going to be some card masteries in here that I don't even touch upon. The reason being is when you get to a certain point in the game, they're not useless per se. However, you don't really need them. Now, we all reach a point when we start to get masteries where we're probably bouncing around legends or champions. Maybe we're farming between tier 11, 12, or 13. And depending on where our tower is at, we're going to have different needs. So for me, starting with number 1, the first mastery that I got was Cash Mastery. Now, Cash Mastery gives you extra reroll shards. Gives you a chance dropping reroll shards on an elite kill. It starts at 0.4% chance, so it's like 1 out of every 250. It's next to nothing. However, even just that is about, I think, a 35% increase to your overall reroll shards per run if you're doing 12-hour runs, tier 11. So it does help. And for me, I had gotten all these modules and they had horrible sub effects because I had waited on my reroll shard lab and I was caught a bit behind. So getting reroll shards, getting some extra ones, this was the most important thing for me. Second was getting a recovery package chance. This was second most important for me because my modules were not leveled up at all. I had focused on getting my cards maxed out first, and because I got my cards maxed out first, I hadn't really put any time towards my modules, and so I've been playing catch up with my modules. And what I noticed was that getting these and getting the extra chance for a package to drop a common module, that with my G comp with the module or the chance package sub effect, you get like, I think even with some research, I've got like 77% chance. Let me show you here. Yeah, 77% package chance. So there's a good chance that that also drops a common module. And I've noticed that at level 3, the 1.6% chance, every run that I do is roughly between 3 to 400 extra shards, which adds up pretty quick, especially when your modules start to cost like 2,000, 2,500 different levels. I found that I'm getting some levels pretty quickly on my modules. And obviously these help in all aspects of the game, whether it be coin farming, damage, health, ultimate weapon damage. It helps with everything. And in fact, getting some more of this has helped me to stay in Legends even without doing any damage research for the last like month. This packet, a lot of people say start with this one. This is a pretty good card mastery to get. Definitely recommend to get this early, no matter what the instance is for you. The next one that I got was Wave Accelerator. Reason being is when you're doing a farming run, you've got to wait till like wave 6,000 before you hit the max spawn rate. Now, max spawn rate with enemy balance, I believe, is 56. You can check it here with wave info. Right now I'm just at 50. But as you see, I'm at wave 3775 and I'm already at a spawn rate of 50. I'm getting some good income. This is just going to make your farming more efficient. And it's going to make it so you can potentially farm higher tiers and still get more or decent sells, but get more coins. And because the elites are coming faster, it's my belief, and I'd have to double check this, that getting the spawn rate moved up, they're still staying at lower health, like your health level skips, damage level still going in. However, it really helps with speeding up your farming. So number 3, we put Wave Accelerator. Number 4, and this is going to be super controversial, but I actually got damage number 4. And the reason being is, if I show you here, I had dropped from Legends, being in Legends for the last month and a half, and I randomly dropped because of a hard bracket. And so I went back to all damage labs, stayed with that for like a week, but I also had some extra stones and I got damage mastery just to force myself back into Legends and reduce the risk of me being pushed down. I'm also farming between tier 11 and tier 12, and even just getting a couple levels on the damage mastery will more than double your damage. So in tournaments, my damage went from like 250 to 500 billion with all my modules, project funding, you name it, which gave me a lot more survivability. That's number 4. Damage. Number 5, and this is something that I'm planning on, knock on wood, having permanently labbed, excuse me, is intro sprint mastery. This was the 5th mastery that I got. And the reason you get that is the first, 1,500 to 2,000, 1,000, whatever you want to call it, waves are just garbage. You're not going to make anything. They're a complete waste of time. And when you're farming very far into the runs, like my tier 11 runs take 14 and a half hours. So if I'm able to cut off the first, let's say 1,800 waves of that, where I can just breeze through it real quick, get all my perks, get everything maxed out with my level skips, it's just going to make it so I can do that many more runs a day. And if you figure if it saves you 6 hours a day, that's in a sense going to give you an entire extra run every like 2 or 3 days. So 20 to 30% increase in your coins. That's very, very good. So intro sprint, this is my number 5th card mastery that I'd recommend unlocking, at least for me. And I made a post on this on Reddit asking, and a lot of people said this is actually the first farming card mastery that you should get. This or Wave Accelerator, kind of 1A, 1B. It just depends on your situation. If you're in Legends and staying in Legends, you're getting about 500 stones a week. So you can get a few of these card masteries, a month and work on them in your labs to get them going. Next mastery I'm going to get, so this will be number 6, is Enemy Balance. I have not gotten this one yet, but this one's going to have the double impact of A, giving me more elites, and B, it's going to give me more Golden Tower combo because getting more scatters, more enemies, more multiplier, but it's also going to give me more cells. And coupled with Wave Accelerator, it might make it more viable for me to start farming higher tiers, even to shorter runs. Like I hear a lot of people say they do 4 runs that are 6 hours each a day, and it's like, well, I'm doing 2 runs, one's 14 hours, one's about 10 hours, and I'll have to, kind of pick and choose what tier I farm with Enemy Balance, but this is definitely going to be the next one that I get, and the reason being it's going to help with farming. And if you played this game for, you're at the point that you're in Legends, Champions, you know that coins and farming is king, so you want to get these farming modules done, get a good base of econ going, so that then, when you start wanting to progress more enhancements, and pay for more expensive masteries, you can do so because you've gotten the farming masteries. So that's number 6. Number 7, and again, this is just my own personal list, might be controversial. I'm going to do coins. It's a very small increase at first, literally just 1.03. It's, 3 levels of enhancement, but for me, 3 levels of coin enhancement now is quite literally going to be like at least 1.5 Q each, little Q. So it's starting to get pretty expensive. I'll show you my multiplier here. So the active card 1.45, that's from the card equipped. However, this will be able to get up to, I believe, 1.8 with the mastery. And so just these little 3% increases in your coins that you get pretty substantial because it's 3% increase. Then it stacks on 3%. It's not really cumulative. It kind of exponentially increases because we're talking about percentages multiplied by percentages here. The next one that I'm going to get, so that again, that was number 7. Number 8 is going to be Wave Skip. The reason why I want to get this is getting a chance to double skip is going to help a lot with tournaments, and it's going to help a lot with farming and just progressing through the levels faster, and overall just help with farming. Again, this might be a wrong opinion, but that's just what I've surmised from my research. This is going to be the 8th card mastery that I get. The 9th, and this is where it kind of gets to gray area because it's moving more towards glass cannon farming and more tournament play. But at this point, you've pretty much gotten all the farming masteries. I haven't heard too many good things about Critical Coin. Most people I hear say skip that, or it's not near as useful as Intro Sprint or Wave Accelerator or coins. However, it's going to get to a point with farming that it's not more beneficial to invest in more coins per se, but it's more beneficial to invest in damage output so you can do glass cannon farming. And what helps immensely with damage output is Super Tower. Super Tower in and of itself, I don't want to say it's useless, but it only gives projectile damage increase. And because of that, it doesn't really affect your ultimate weapons at all, or actually it doesn't impact your ultimate weapons at all. So to get this to actually impact your ultimate weapons is you got to get the mastery, but then the mastery also lowers the cooldown time. So people in Legends who have this card at 100% uptime are quite literally getting, well, 5x on their projectile damage, again kind of besides the point, but they get a permanent increase on the multiplier effect of their ultimate weapon damage. And if it's running at all times, it's a pretty significant increase. So more damage means you can farm higher, means you can push higher in Legends, equals more stones, more gems, more progression. It's a pretty good deal there. That was number 9. Number 10, and again, this is all stuff focused on now, I would say tournament play and pushing into glass cannon farming. I want to get attack speed. More attack speed just means more damage, being able to push higher with glass cannon, being able to push higher in tournaments, overall progressing your tower. And that's going to lead nicely into the next one, which I'm going to do as energy net. And this is probably maybe going to give me some flack. I know a lot of people would say to get demon mode by now. However, demon mode I would just use in tournaments. If I'm doing glass cannon farming, I'd most likely, at least how I would play with my strategy, and again, this could be wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but having the energy net stop the boss and being able to then have a multiplier go on it of more damage is just going to mean a lot more survivability with milestone pushes and glass cannon farming because bosses survive so much. But it's also going to help a lot with tournaments and taking care of the bosses in that. The next one I'll get after this, that was number 11, but number 12 is going to be demon mode. These last two are strictly for tournaments. Demon mode has an amazing damage multiplier. It's actually higher than damage card itself. However, I don't farm with demon mode. So for me, not that it's useless, it would help with tournaments and it would help me stay in Legends. However, it's not really on my list of priorities. So just to recap, my own personal list of card masteries that I would get is first, well, cash mastery. Then it's recovery package chance. Next is wave accelerator. Next I got damage. Then intro sprint. Then I'm going to get enemy balance. Then coins. Then wave skip. Then super tower. Attack speed. Energy net. And demon mode. Now there's a lot extra on here. There's a lot of really good ones, such as Berserker Mastery is pretty good. If you get a Death Defy, it does like 500x damage, which is insane. You know, Critical Coin will probably have some use. Plasma Cannon would probably have some use as well for, well, farming up higher. We usually die to raise at higher waves, so getting rid of those with this Plasma Cannon Mastery would help. And I left a few of these off because as you push up higher, they're just not the meta. For example, Legends, I mean, I don't even run with defense on my module. I use anti-Q portal and I have no defensive sub effect. I don't play with defense on my glass cannon. Can't click that right now, but why would I get that mastery then if I'm not going to use it? Also in my my runs, my milestone pushes, or not necessarily milestone pushes, but my farming runs, when I get all my perks, I'm getting right now into like 97.7% defense. And I'll get it to 98 when I get my perk bonus to level 25. But it maxes out at 98%, so it's not really worth it to get a defensive mastery. There's a few others in here like health regen. I don't really need those right now. They would help with some farming, but in terms of econ and tournament play, they would really have no effect for me. So the main things that I'm going to focus on, and what I'd recommend that you focus on as you get towards bouncing between champs and legends, unlocking your masteries, is getting some stuff that's going to help with whatever your weakest part of your tower is, which for me was modules, and then work on your farming. And then when you get pretty good farming, start working on some damage stuff so you can survive higher into legends. And that's it. I hope this causes a bit of discussion. I know this is just my opinion. This is not certainly fact by any means. I watch a lot of other YouTubers that have really good advice on this. Heck, even looking at my screen, I see people that get free upgrade mastery or fortress mastery as like one of their earlier ones. Some of these are a bit cheaper too, which is nice. Extra orb mastery is going to be good for coins, but I don't like running the extra orb card. And the orbs do eliminate some bosses for me, or enemies for me, but is it really that useful? So yeah, drop a comment if you have any feedback. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. This served as partly educational for myself as well. This game is, all of our towers are different. We all have different experiences and advice. So I open all feedback and discussion, and I hope that this starts it. So with that, I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.